Welcome to the Raider Talks game preview. I'm your host, Art Navarrete, here alongside Nick Ibarra. Before we get started, hit that subscribe button down below for Raider content all season long. Make sure to stick to the end for our keys to the game, our offensive and defensive player of the game prediction for the Raiders, along with our score prediction. Nick, Raiders, Colts, playoff implications on the line for both teams here. More importantly for our Raiders, Nick. This is a huge game. It's going to be fun. 10 a.m. game in Indianapolis.
What year is it, Art? Is it 2021 or 2023 going to 2024? Because it surely feels like 2021. A game before the big game. You got the Colts. You're going to the Colts, and you need this one. They got a playoff spot. I think in 2021 they had a playoff spot. This is going to be fun. This is going to be exciting. Coming off of a big win, I tell you what, I'm pumped up. I'm excited. This is possibly can happen, but we got 4 quarters of football ahead of us that we need to focus on and win.
Yeah, big game for the Colts, big game for the Raiders. Colts heading to this game at 8-7. Raiders heading to the game at 7-8. And let's talk about the story within the story for the Raiders. Antonio Pierce trying to get that interim tag lifted, and I think this game will lift this tag for him. I think he will get the head coaching job for sure if he wins this game. He just needs to win one of these next 2.
Yeah, if he hasn't done so already. He needs one of these next 2. He needs this one because then week 18 means something. What he's done is unbelievable, and he's done things that no Raider coaches has ever done. He led a 63-point win. Now he's leading this defense. Him and Patrick Graham are leading this defense into places where we've never even seen before, and he led these men into Kansas City and beat them, which is a rarity in these past 10, 15 years?
Yep.
So what he's doing is unheard of in a sense. He keeps going, and this is his job.
Yeah, I think it's pretty much damn near a done deal with Antonio Pierce. I think he's going to be here next year, but I think he can really seal it with a victory against the Colts and helps the Raiders be in playoff implications last week of the season, which is a very, very big deal.
Yeah, which is all you can ask for. Yeah,
it's all you can ask for, especially coming in as the interim, the Josh McDaniels situation, the Jimmy Garoppolo stuff, just all this stuff that happened to the Raiders, similar to that year in 2021, and now the Raiders have a chance to beat the Colts to keep their playoff hopes alive and win next week, and hopefully everything falls in place.
Yeah, no, you're absolutely right. I mean, this is a huge game. You got to get past the Colts in Indy, and then you have an AFC West showdown just like we had in 2021. It's going to be a fun one.
Yeah, it's going to be a fun game. ESPN, like always, has the Raiders losing. Raiders with a 39% chance to win to the Colts' 60% chance to win. Nick says this every week. He says you got to put the football down, and we'll see what happens.
Yeah.
And I'm guessing your answer is going to be no different now.
No, exactly. And now we're starting to get a little bit more recognition, and I think on NFL Network, majority of them has us winning. I was on TikTok kind of all day today. All the TikTokers and content creators, most of them are picking the Raiders. No one's taking this lightly. Everyone thinks we're gonna make some noise. So this is gonna be a good one.
All right, as of Thursday for the Raiders, Josh Jacobs did not part. Michael Mayer did not part. A lot of people limited and full. Josh Jacobs being out, I don't think it's that much of a problem. I think our running back room is stepping up. I love the way Zamir White is running. Yeah. I kind of don't want to ruin what this offense has with the running game. Michael Mayer is big, though. That tight end for the Raiders is a big deal. He was a big target in that Charger game, and he wasn't there for O'Connell in that Chiefs game, and it felt like O'Connell seemed a little lost without him.
Yeah, no, you're absolutely right. And his numbers speak for themselves. We need that big target. We need Mayer. I don't know what's going on. We just signed a tight end off of, I think, the Bengals practice squad. It's not looking good for Mayer right now, and with his toe. So I wonder what's going on there. But yeah, it sucks that we're missing a big target. And with Jacobs, if you would have told me this, or because the Charger game, he didn't play. So that one, you're like, man, we're going to need Jacobs. What Zamir's done in these past 2 weeks has been incredible, especially against the Chiefs. I don't think we're losing anything there with having Zamir as our number 1 running back.
Yeah, you got to go with the hot hand. And even if Jacobs were to come back this week, I would want Zamir to get, most of the rushes
I think
in
that'd
this
be a two-headed
football
monster.
game. And I think it would be a two-headed monster, but I would want Zamir to get most of those, most of those plays because Zamir is the hot hand right now, and he is helping us win football games, and he is doing it with his legs. He's, icing games. He's doing a lot with his legs, and it's been really fun to watch Zamir White, a young guy, second-year player for the Las Vegas Raiders. Let's talk about this offense, Nick. A struggling Raiders offense, but an offense that, did great in that Charger game, and then they go out in that Chiefs game, and, people might criticize this offense, but they played good enough to win the football game. Aiden O'Connell, the quarterback, played quarterback smartly that game, throwing balls away that need to be thrown away, not forcing things. That's one of those games where if you have a quarterback on our team that throws an interception, we lose against the Chiefs. Just one interception, probably we lose. Right. Aiden O'Connell took care of the football. The running backs took care of the football. Wide receivers took care of the football. Tight ends. And we won that football game.
Yeah, this is going to be a big one for O'Connell. Colts had a hard time last week defending the pass. O'Connell had a hard time passing the ball. So it's going to be interesting to see, and I think he can do a lot more against this Colts defense.
I think so as well. I think it's going to be a whole new week, a whole new situation of a football game. That Chiefs game was a different situation. He's got to take care of the football. I think we'll win it because of how our defense is playing. In this Colts game, I think the Raiders' offense is going to step up a little bit.
Yeah.
And, we've seen signs of Bo Hardery, the offensive play caller for the Raiders, do some really, really good things with his offense, with all the playmakers we have. Jacoby Myers at quarterback, and just all these different trick plays. Hopefully he brings them all out of his bag in these last 2 weeks to help the Raiders clinch a playoff spot.
Yeah, me too. I hope so. We need all the help we need, and to move the ball, we need everything. So I hope he gets creative a little bit and gets us to where we need.
Let's talk about Devontae Adams, an animal for the Raiders, on pace for another 1,000-yard season. Is he going to get it this week, Nick? He's at 972. Is he going to get it?
Yeah, he's going to get it. He'll get it in the first quarter probably. Last week I think he had one catch for 4 yards, but after the game he had the biggest smile out of everybody's face. He just wants to win. But I think with that they'll get him involved early a little bit, and I think he has 1,000 yards before the first quarter ends.
It's one of those things with Devontae, like Aaron Rodgers said on the Pat McAfee show, a month and a half back. It don't matter if Devontae's doubled or tripled. Trust me, Devontae's open.
Yeah.
So Aiden O'Connell needs to trust it and give it to Devontae. I thought that last week he gave a couple to Devontae and gave him some pretty good throws for Devontae to make plays on. I think he dropped one last week.
Yeah, for sure, one drop.
And he got close to a couple. So I like how Aiden's trying to give it to him. But I think he needs to hit Devontae just a little earlier.
Yeah.
I think he's going a little too late when guys are already kind of on him.
No, yeah, I think, you're absolutely right. Some of the throws were behind him. I think he had 6 targets last week. Maybe half of them were on AOC. And then Devontae caught one ball. I know he dropped one for sure. But yeah, I think you need to hit him a little bit more better, and this offense gets a little bit more dangerous.
Jacoby Myers, another threat, wide receiver weapon for the Raiders that we have. How can we utilize him? I mean, he can throw the football, he can catch it great, he can do everything great. How are we going to utilize him? I want to see him at quarterback a little bit this week.
Yeah, I mean, it looked good. He looked good doing it. He looks good doing that. He looks good running with the ball. And then he looks good catching with the ball. This is one of the big surprises of the year. He's having one hell of a year. I'm excited to see what he does Sunday.
I mean, I think you can actually put him at quarterback on a couple plays and see what we can do. Obviously, you have situations where you can pitch it back and put him in a spot where he can throw the ball, but I think him under center will be something that Bo Hardery can do that can throw this defense off, this Colts defense.
And those plays worked to Devontae.
Yes.
So when he gets the ball, now, you got to think, is he throwing it to Devontae? Is he throwing it? Is he going to run with it? What is he going to do? It just keeps the defense guessing.
Yeah, and he's accurate, and he's got the quarterback instincts because he is a quarterback. So I really like what I see from Jacoby Myers, and I really want to see him get the football with a chance to throw it, whether it's pitch back to him or if he's under center and shotgun, whatever. I think that'll be really cool to see. Obviously, we talked a little bit about Zeus, what he's doing. Do you expect him to keep it going?
Yes. This team struggled against the run too last week. So I expect him to keep getting better and better. I think that Charger game, he looked good. I think he ran for like 70 yards, caught for I think 10 or 20 of them. Last week he really came into his own, had 145 on the ground, just looked great, and I think he builds off of that and has another big game. We're gonna need it.
I think so as well. I think these Raider weapons are going to come out to play. Aiden O'Connell, I think, is kind of the question mark in this game. He's been the question mark for the Raiders at the quarterback position. Actually, all year, all the quarterbacks, Garoppolo, Hoyer, O'Connell have been the question mark going into football games. How do you think he's going to do this game? Do you think he's going to step up his game, think he's going to make big throws, or do you think he's going to manage the game perfectly so that we can just win?
I don't know. I mean, he's hit and miss. One week he's good, another week he's just like, what are you doing? The Chief game by numbers and quarterback rating. The first Chief game, he was one of the best quarterbacks of that week. Then we go to the Minnesota game, puts up a 0. Then after Minnesota Charger game, 4 touchdowns and looks like one of the best quarterbacks in the league. And then last week, I know we got the win. I'm not complaining or anything. Only throws for 62 yards. It really didn't look the same after that first quarter. Hopefully that trend continues and we'll get a good game out of him this week.
Yeah, I think O'Connell at this point in the season and us needing wins, I think he could be a quarterback that could be a good game manager and just help us win. I think kind of the Jimmy Garoppolo style with the Niners back in the day, just do your thing and get the win. I think O'Connell could be a guy that does that, but there might be a point, maybe in this game where he's struggling or something, or even, the game against the Broncos, or if we make the playoffs where what if we need more from the quarterback position?
Yeah.
What if we need, throws downfield? What if we need more aggressiveness? What if we need more passes to be completed? That's going to be the question for AP. We'll see what happens.
With us now, with us now in the position that we are in, playoffs look likely if we win these next 2. We need some help. I know we'll probably get into that a little bit later, but is he on a short leash to where we need these ball games? You have to make these throws. We have to move the ball. We got to get chunk plays. We got to get Devontae involved. We can't just be running it all the time. Do you turn to somebody in Jimmy G? Hey, you've done this. The last time he took a snap, this defense wasn't as good as it is now. Do you trust him and give AOC a short leash, and then if he's not doing it, give him 3 or 4 series? If not, here you go, Jimmy G. Let's see if you can do something. I mean, he's got us here. I mean, so it's going to be interesting to see.
Yeah, and we've never really seen Jimmy Garoppolo without McDaniels. We've seen Jimmy Garoppolo with McDaniels. Haven't seen him with Bill Hardegree and see what he does with that offense. But you look back at some of those games Jimmy had, and it looked like he was throwing to the other team. So. It's kind of a weird situation.
No, you're absolutely right.
But O'Connell, hopefully he can just take care of business.
Yeah.
I want him to. We want him to take care of business and be that starting quarterback and help lead us somewhere.
He's the quarterback of the Raiders. Ever since AP was in charge, he's the quarterback of the Raiders. We need him to succeed. We need him to finish these ball games. We need him to make these big-time throws, and I hope he does that against Indy.
All right, Nick. Let's talk about the playoffs a little bit before we get into this Raider defense. Playoffs is a real possibility for the Raiders.
Yes.
Like you said, if we win these 2 games, it's likely. I feel like everything's going to fall our way. I feel like it's just going to be up to us winning these 2 football games.
Absolutely. I was a little skeptical of it at first. With that Kansas City game, we went in and beat them. And after that, I me and you were talking, and this is a real possibility. And these are 2 hard games, and I know you got Indy on the road and then Denver at home, but these are not 2 hard games. These are 2 winnable games. Everybody almost has us beating the Colts. It's doable. It's possible. The way this defense is playing, we've never seen a defense like this out of the Raiders. I think we're going to go as far as they take us, and they're playing really well right now, and I don't see why they're going to let up anytime soon.
Yeah, this defense is just playing amazing, and a reason why we are in this playoff hunt. And the Chiefs can lose a couple, we win a couple, we win the West, and then obviously some other stuff happening. We need to beat the Colts, we need Steelers to lose, and all these other teams, Texans. But hopefully everything falls our way. But if we win these 2 games, I'm happy. We win these 2 games, I'm happy. I'm pumped up for this team. However the coin lands, if it lands that we're in the playoffs, then I'm pumped up. if it lands in the direction where we win both these games, we don't get into the playoffs, we don't sneak in, I'm so happy. I'm looking forward to the free agency. I'm so happy for the next season and see what we can do.
We win these next two. You have a winning record. You're 9-8. With everything that has happened, McDaniels got fired. You went through 3 quarterbacks this season. Quarterback change. A lot's happened. You lost 3-0. You got shut out. The way we were losing at one point late in the season, all of our quarterbacks had more interceptions than touchdown thrown. To just sit there and have a winning record would be amazing. No matter how, if we're in the tournament or not. But yeah, I mean, so it would be nice. Winning record, rookie quarterback, just this whole story.
Playoffs, Raiders in 2024. Can they be in the playoffs in 2024? We shall see. The only reason we're talking about playoffs right now is because of this Raider defense. Let's get into this Las Vegas Raider defense. Let's start with a defensive line and Max Crosby, Malcolm Kuntz, and Tyree Wilson. A trio. This is a trio of the future, maybe, Nick.
They're coming into their own. Or should I say Kuntz and Tyree Wilson's coming into their own, because we know what Max is going to do. Kuntz has been playing unbelievable these past 3 or 4 weeks, ever since AP took over. And ever since, Patrick Graham, got everything fixed, he's been playing really well. Tyree, as of late, has been playing really good. Stopping the run, getting after the quarterback. Every time he's out there, he's doing something, which is nice to see. We got a 3-headed monster at edge rush right now, and it's looking good.
It's been a change at this line since Tyree Wilson got moved inside for most plays. He's bull rushing inside. He's opening up things for Malcolm Kuntz. He's opening up things for Max Crosby. And, before we moved Tyree inside, quarterbacks were very easily able to step up against our pass rush. Mm-hmm. Not with Tyree Wilson there. It's not easy to step up. Mm-hmm. Like in the Chiefs game, we had Mahomes going to the sidelines and going, side to side sidelines. He wasn't able to step up. It's easy to make a throw when you can step up as a quarterback, but when you're going side to side, that's when you start throwing picks. Mahomes threw a pick to Jack Jones going to the side.
Yeah. Almost threw in a Meek. Almost threw in a
Meek and Merrick. So, this defense is playing good. It has a lot to do with Tyree Wilson. I just want to give Tyree Wilson his flowers because there was a point in this season where Twitter, a lot of people were bashing Tyree. And I wouldn't say we came on and bashed Tyree, but we started questioning the draft pick a little bit.
The value of it, yes.
Yeah, we started questioning Tyree a little bit. Like, I thought we were going to see more production. Haven't seen it yet. I'm kind of scared. But Tyree has really come into his own. And I like that he's not pouting about getting moved to the inside. He's just going to go dominate. He goes and dominates every game since he's been on the inside. I love it.
Do what he does best and just bull rush. At the beginning of the season, everybody was getting on it. Well, he has no moves. He has no this. He has no that. Now that he's got his legs under him, he's playing really good football. He's putting some stats on the board, and his grades are showing him for themselves. Yeah,
people forget that he was injured to start the year and wasn't able to get, his win and everything up to par. But obviously, it looks like he has it now. Let's talk about these Raider linebackers, Robert Spillane, mainly, and Divine Diablo.
Yeah, I mean, Spillane's been the surprise of this Raiders defense. He's intercepting the ball, stopping the run, tackles for loss. He can do it all. One of the great pickups that we had this year, and he's just playing hard and hitting hard.
Trayvon Merritt, Marcus Epps, anything to say about those guys?
Man, they're all over the place, especially Merritt. It's funny because in the first half of football this season against Denver, we didn't like what we were seeing out of Merritt.
No.
And we wanted him cut. Me and your dad were talking, and it was horrible. And after that, he just totally did a 180 and is playing some really great football. And now showing why we picked him in the second round as high as we did, and showing that he's the safety to come for these Raiders.
So when we drafted Merrick initially, we pretty much got him. All right, you're going to be high safety. Don't let anyone don't let Tyreek Hill get past you. Pretty much
that's what it was.
What it was. And it was almost a non-aggressive way to play in the safety position, right? And it seemed like Trayvon Merritt kept playing that type of safety, that type of mentality. Just don't let anyone get past me the whole time he's been here, including that Denver game, first game of the year. Since then, Trayvon Merritt has been a ball hawk. He's been looking to tackle.
Yes.
He's been doing all these things, and it's been beautiful to see. And he's a big reason why this Raider defense is playing so well. Gotta give props to Trayvon Merritt.
Yeah, he looks really good back there.
All right, let's talk about this DB room. I mean, this is an exciting DB room these Raiders have. Let's start with, I'll say, our favorite corner right now, Jack Jones, Nate Hobbs, Amik Robertson. Dogs, just dogs. I mean, that's the best way I can say it. They're just dogs. They're animals. They're ball hawks.
Yes.
They're aggressive. I love the way they talk their crap. I love everything about these Raider cornerbacks. It's awesome to see. It's beautiful.
Yeah, no, we already know what Hobbs could do. Amik's coming into his own, and it seems like we've been saying that for these past 2 years already, but he's just getting better and better. And Jack Jones, what a breath of fresh air. You go and you release Marcus Peters because he's not putting in the effort. He's not really being a Raider.
Yeah.
You bring him in, and he's an AP guy, and for him to get 2 back-to-back pick sixes, and it's not about the touchdowns either. It's about what he's actually doing on the field, tackling, and not letting balls get past him. I mean, it's amazing what he's doing right now.
Yeah, these DBs are playing excellent football, reading it out of the quarterback's hands, and mainly, it just looks like these corners are watching film. It's that simple. They're reading it. It looks like when other teams are running a certain play, they know it's coming, and it looks like just a lot of film study from these DBs and just this Raider defense all around. Mm-hmm. Something I haven't seen from Raider defenses in a long time. I've seen Raider teams just lost, not even knowing what they're doing, let alone the other team.
No, you're absolutely right.
We obviously know what we're doing from a schematical wise on defense, and it looks like we know what the other teams are doing.
It's nice that there's 11 men on defense, and for a while it seemed like there was only one. When we had Woodson, when we had Khalil, and then when we had Max Crosby. Now you can sit there and say, we got Max Crosby, we got Malcolm Kuntz, we got Merrick in the back. We've got some real ball players. And it's not just on one guy now. And everyone's doing their part. And it's good to see, and it's good to see that we finally have a great defense.
The Colts offense is primarily a run team, Nick. They're primarily run team. Obviously, Gardner Minshew can come out and make some big throws as well. Mm-hmm. He's a solid quarterback in this league. There's a reason he's been in the league for so long.
Yeah.
What do you expect from this Raider defense against the run game?
Everything that we've seen in these past 2 or 3 weeks. Stop the run. Get the football out. This defense has been really good against the run. They held Pacheco to, I think, 2.2 yards per carry last week. So just keep doing what you're doing. And I think that's the motto for this defense this week. Just keep doing what you're doing. Don't let anybody get behind you and stop them.
Yeah, I think this Raiders team is going to do good against the run game. They got Jonathan Taylor and Moss. So two good running backs, obviously led by Jonathan Taylor. And I expect Max Crosby flying around. I expect this line flying around. I expect the linebackers in on the action. And then in the pass game, Gardner Minshew's a solid quarterback. Mm-hmm. But if you put the pressure that we put on Patrick Mahomes, it will be a long day for Gardner Minshew because Gardner Minshew cannot move like Mahomes does.
Atlanta did that last week, and I was watching NFL's game preview, and then I was watching some highlights. Atlanta did that last week against Minshew, and he looked lost. And he also didn't have Pittman. We don't know if Pittman's going to play or not. If he's without Pittman and we apply the pressure, it is going to be a long day for Gardner Minshew, and it's going to be a fun day for us.
I think so as well. This Raider team has been pretty good against the Colts, pretty solid in a must-win game in 2021. Mm-hmm. We got them. Last year we lost to them though.
Yeah.
So 1-1 going into 2024. We'll see how this Raider team does against this Colts team. Let's go on to our keys to the game, Nick. What is your first key of the game? Is it the same as last week? Is it 3 words again?
No, it's not 3 words.
Okay,
last week was Patrick Mahomes, and we stopped him.
Yeah.
So I think this week, first thing is time of possession. We're unsure about what Aiden O'Connell in this passing game can do. Run the ball, control time of possession, defense, get out there, stop them, some 3-and-outs, give the ball back to your offense. We need to control time of possession.
My first key of the game is one that I've had earlier in the year, and it's utilize this rookie that we have, Trey Tucker. Let's utilize Trey Tucker. Didn't give him the ball once last week. We didn't give him the ball once last week. Give him the ball.
Yeah.
Give him the ball somehow. I don't care how you do it. Get Trey Tucker the ball.
Yeah.
Throw it deep. Give it to him on a little pitch. Whatever, do a screenplay. Give it to Trey Tucker. He's fast. He can make things happen. Flags can come flying when he's playing wide receiver, and DBs are chasing him down. Give the ball to Trey Tucker.
Yes. My second one, turnover battle. Win it. We won it last week. It seems like this defense is ball hawks, and they just go after the ball, create some turnovers. Offense, keep the ball in your hands, and we should be in for a good one.
Aiden O'Connell is my second key to the game. Aiden O'Connell, be aggressive, but be smart with the football as well. Last week, I thought, you played a perfect game in the sense of what we needed. You did what you needed to do. Do what you need to do again this week. Don't be too aggressive because last week you weren't aggressive, but be right in that middle range.
Yeah, my last one is what I just said. Keep doing what you're doing. Don't let the moment get too big for you. This is just a game that we've been playing all of our lives, and that's about it. This run game needs to do what they've been doing these past couple weeks. This defense need to be doing what they've been doing since AP took over, and we should be all right and come out of Indy with the win.
My final key of the game is one that's been here since the first win with AP. Just win, baby. Let's go smoke some cigars in that Colts visiting locker room after the game. All right, let's get into our offensive and defensive player of the game predictions for the Raiders, Nick. This week we'll start offensively.
I'm going to go Zamir White. I think he has a 100-yard plus game with a couple touchdowns. He's really coming into his own. Looked good. His first start looked really good. His second start, and I'm looking for him to have even a more breakout game in this big one.
That would have been mine, by the way, but he took it from me. I'll take Devontae Adams. I thought he had just one reception last game for 4 yards. I think Devontae's going to come out in a big way. I think his hands are going to be good this week. He dropped one that he wants back. I think he's excited. I think he smells blood in the water for the Raiders to make the playoffs. I got Devontae Adams. Defensively, for the Raiders, Nick, a lot of options.
A lot of options now.
Beginning of the year,
there's 11 options.
Beginning of the year, it was like Max Crosby only. But now we're going to have episodes where Max Crosby might not even be the pick.
Well, he is today because it's going to be Max Crosby. He's coming off of a 0 sack performance against Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs. I think he comes out, puts up 2 or 3 on the board, and finishes this year out strong.
I'm going to go Amik Robertson. Had a ball fall through his hands last week, and he's just around the football all the time. Amik is making plays, and I think this is his week to get a pick. Jack Jones has been his week the last couple of weeks. Amik's time. Amik's turn.
I hope so. He was close last week. I hope he gets a couple.
Maybe even like a pick six. I see
something like that.
I see Amik getting like a pick six, a game winner or something. Amik is gonna make a big play for this Raider team. Amik is one of those guys that you just look at and he's just a Raider. Yeah. You know what I mean? I love seeing Amik. I mean, I loved him since last year. He's always a cut candidate every year. It's weird.
It's crazy how even us these past 2 or 3 years, we come up here, heck, we love Amik at the end of the year, and then come training camp time, he might be on the bubble. We might want him gone. We might want
he is on the bubble.
And then now, coming. I mean, he's a Raider.
I mean, this year Hall of Fame game, he's playing in the fourth quarter. He was playing in the fourth quarter in the Hall of Fame game. He's playing in the third and fourth quarter.
But I mean, now that's what I'm saying. Like these past couple of years, he's been really coming into his own, and now he could be like a cornerstone of this defense, which is pretty good.
I feel like if someone could give him his props and kind of understand Amik and know Amik, it would be Antonio Pierce.
Yeah. Right? I think he brings the best out of everybody.
Jack Jones, right. Nate Hobbs, Spillane, Diablo, Merrick, Epps, Tyree, Max, all these guys.
It's crazy what we got going on.
It's beautiful. Yeah. Beautiful to see. All right, Nick, let's do our score predictions. Raiders, Colts, Week 17. Playoff implications for both teams.
Raiders win this ball game 20-10. Our defense is only going to give up maybe a touchdown and a field goal, and that's it. That touchdown might even be late. I think this offense explodes a little bit yards-wise, gets a couple of touchdowns, a couple of field goals. We come out of there with a 20-10 victory.
I got 24-13 victory for the Raiders. I think that's pretty smart. A couple of field goals, a touchdown. I think a field goal or a touchdown in garbage time. A couple of field goals early.
If we come in this game and control it and dominate, no matter what the score says. If it's one of those like Raiders control that game all game long, it was theirs from the beginning. We're going to be really dangerous, and no one's going to want to see us in the playoffs if we do make it.
If we make the playoffs, I have full confidence that we're going to win the whole thing.
Yeah.
What do we have to lose?
Exactly.
What did this Raider team have to lose?
We fired our coach on Halloween. We went through a whole bunch of quarterback changes. We're running with the fourth, fifth round quarterback rookie. There's nothing for us to lose.
And there's not defensive football. It's better than ours right now.
No.
So
we got the number one D since AB stepped foot.
So we sneak in. I think it's on. I think we're going to do the whole thing. We're going to win the whole thing.
I'm going to say this. Coming into later into the year, I feel a lot better than I did in 2021 because of this defense. Defense wins championships. Defense is the reason why we're in this position. And defense is going to win us a lot of games if they keep playing like this.
Yeah, you really knew what type of defense this was when in that Raider-Viking game, we lose 3-0. And we got defensive guys like a Meek Robertson, Max Crosby, Tyree Wilson taking responsibility. You know, we should not give up 3. Mm-hmm. And that just shows what kind of defense this Raider team has and the accountability they take for themselves. Like they weren't, bull, us.
No, you're absolutely right.
Being serious. Like we gave up 3 to them. We shouldn't have given up 3. We can't give up 3 to the Vikings. And they took accountability, even though it was the offense's fault, obviously.
Yeah. No, you're absolutely right.
That shows the kind of defense we have, and that's the kind of defense that has been playing so good these last couple of games against the Chargers and the Chiefs and just all year long. I expect them to keep it going against the Colts. Since we've had do or die games, we've won them both.
Yeah, no, you're absolutely right. I think that Viking game left a sour taste in their mouths, even though they only gave up 3. And especially with the offense, and for them to come out and do what they've done these past, 3 or 4 weeks, or the 2-3 weeks, has really been great.
It's been good to see. We'll see if this Raider team can keep their playoff hopes alive heading into the last week of the season. Like we said, that's all you can ask for. Man, are you nervous a little bit, or are you just excited?
I'm pumped. I'm excited. Like I said, I think with the way this defense is playing, they're going to keep doing that, and it's just a matter of are we going to put up points on the board or not. I think we do after a slow week last week. I'm not nervous at all. I'm ready to go to Indy and win.
Yeah, I'm not nervous. I'm just excited for this game. I'm pumped to watch my Raiders play. I think they're going to go out there and they're going to give them, 4 quarters of hell, 4 quarters of Raider football, and Antonio Pierce is going to win a head coaching job in the next couple of weeks, and hopefully we make a playoff run.
Yeah, I hope so.
We'll see you guys after this big game for the Raiders. Root hard for your team. Gonna need it. Let's go. Let's make a playoff run.
Hell yeah.
We'll see you guys next time. Go Raiders.
Go Raiders.